Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Thank you for taking a few moments and this morning. If you want to follow along, we're going to be back in Genesis chapter number 14, beginning in verse 21. If you will, like, share, comment. And then we have these words. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the persons, give me the people, but take the goods for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "I have lifted my hand to the Lord God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, that I would not take a thread or a sandal strap or anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing but what the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me. Let Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre take their share." Here Abram is tempted. He's going to be tempted to compromise like we all are on occasions. He is tempted, quite simply, to take everything, all the things he had conquered, and so he has that opportunity. And so the king of Sodom comes to him, and it's kind of an odd ploy. In fact, the king he doesn't have any, he doesn't bring anything to the table. There's, he has nothing to offer Abram, but I guess it doesn't hurt to try, as they say. And so, the invading king had taken everything, the invading armies had taken everything in Sodom, had destroyed the city, had taken all the goods, captured the people. And what this man is trying to do is rebuild his kingdom. And the only way he can do that is to get his stuff and his people back. And so he goes to Abram and makes a deal, or tries to make a deal. He says, give me back my people, and you keep all the stuff, all the gold, the animals, all those things." And this is could be a real problem for Abram. That could have ruined his testimony among the people, and that could have ruined again who he was. And a couple things probably crossed as Abram was making this decision. He can keep everything for himself. I mean, he has that right. He won. To the victor goes the spoils, and he could have taken everything. Again, he had the right to it. He could have taken the people. He could have taken the all the possessions, and done all that. Question is that how God wanted him to take the promised land? So that thought had to cross his mind. He could do what the king suggested. He could leave the people and keep the stuff. Um, who wants to put up with maybe these contrary people? We'll just take all their goods. And my wealth will be increased, and my possessions will be increased. And again, these were the valuables from five major cities and all their villages. This is a big temptation in front of Abram to take all the goods from the city, from all these cities. But what's wrong? What is the third thought? What's the problem with what the king is presenting? Why shouldn't he take it? Why shouldn't he take all these things and just leave behind the people? Well, the problem is Abram had prayed before. Not a problem, actually. I shouldn't say it that way, I guess. The condition is Abram had prayed before he had went into this battle. Before he entered it all, he put it in God's hand. And here he says, I have promised God that I wouldn't do that. I have promised to the Lord that I would not. I'm going to give him the credit. And I made a promise to God that I would not take anything. When he says here in this verse, I won't even take a thread or a sandal strap. He basically says, I won't even take a shoestring. I won't take anything from you because I made that agreement with God. He wanted, again, he wanted the world. He wanted everyone to know he didn't have any personal ambition here. He wasn't fighting to gain territory. He wasn't, he wasn't going to compromise with the world. If he accepted these things that the king of Sodom offered, then down the road, just as Abram said, the king could say that he made Abram rich, not God. And at every opportunity I'm sure this king had, he would have pointed out how he made Abram a rich man. It wasn't God who did it. And then I guess one of the main things would be that now Abraham kind of feels tied to this king. He feels obligated to this king. When we compromise our convictions, when we compromise, Abram made this decision up front, I'm not taking a thing. Now, if he compromises on that decision and he gets himself in a bind, now he's obligated to further compromise. And finally, most of all, I think Abram just wanted to be a witness to God that of God's faithfulness. If he took all these goods, if he took these things, the people would hate him. And so Abram rejects this offer, and he refuses to take these things. He stays true to what he had committed to do, and that's a hard battle we still face today. We can, we want to serve God, we want to follow God, we make these commitments, and then we get out in the world, and the world makes these offers, and there's opportunities for us to get involved in things that we shouldn't, and there's sin is just dangling right there in front of us sometimes, and it's just so difficult to stay true to our commitment to God sometimes. But Abraham is, again, for us a great example of being faithful and honoring our commitment to follow God, not just on Sundays, but 7 days a week. And Abram doesn't want to put himself in a position where anybody can make an accusation. I think of all kinds of examples. I think of the stories, the number of stories that are told about Billy Graham and how careful he was when going into a hotel room and never being alone with a female and things like that. We can take this story and just spread it in so many different directions of Abram being careful of his witness. What a lesson for Christians today. I know how quickly people want to turn and make accusations against believers. This passage reminds us to be careful of our testimony. You think about it. Have a great